Now, most people spend their whole entire lives running on outdated mindsets. You know, we can think of mindsets as like internal programs that they never choose to begin with. And they become installed by society, through our childhood, through schooling, through our parents. It's generally passed down through our parenting, even based in survival roots as well. And all of these things create our mindset. You know, if we grow up in a scarcity mindset in a family, generally we have that on and we take that on board at the same time. But your mindset is the operating system of your life. If that operating system isn't functioning properly, the results are going to show from that. Whereas if you change that code in the programs and in the mindset that you have, if you change the way that is operating, you will change the outcome and ultimately change the results that you produce in your life. Now, these 22 mindset shifts aren't just motivational fluff. Like, it's not just going to make you feel good. They might actually hurt a little. Hey, it's Brendan. Welcome back to the video. You know, truth hurts sometimes, and truth can piss you off. Why does it piss you off? Because you know it's true, but you don't want to hear it. And that's why it pisses people off. So you may get a little bit triggered in this. And it's not intentional, but you're welcome. But maybe not too. These 22 upgrades are hard-earned truths that when you can adopt them, it will radically shift your life, and it will radically shift the way that you think, the way that you act, and ultimately the way that you win, because we all want to win a bit more in life, right? And so if you're ready to stop playing small and settling for average, and you want to actually do something with the world, like you want to look back on your life and go, you know what, I lived a big life, I lived a full life, I'm happy with what I went. You know, I always say, whatever your belief, I'm just going to use this as a story. But just imagine, like, let's just say God, for example. God is up there, and you, at the end of your life, you have a choice. God will come to you and he'll say, this is who you could have been. And you will look at that person in your life and you will either be like, I know you, because I am you. Or you will feel so bad because you will see the version of yourself that you could have been, but your mindset was holding you back. So this upgrade, or these 22 upgrades, are gonna allow you to start chasing that 10 times better version of you. So you can live a life with more clarity, more power, more purpose, and all of the stuff that maybe you're not even aware of. You can simply shift your mindset and your whole life can change. And so in this video, this is where that mindset shift starts to begin. Hey, it's Brendan. Quick interruption to your regularly scheduled video. I want to let you know of an opportunity that you have to go even deeper into this work together. Now, if you have not yet, please check out the description down below. And in there, we've got links to both Launch, our 3-day event, and also Ascend, our high performance mastermind. Now, Launch, it's our 3-day event, and it's the most ruthlessly effective event to change your brain, for you to become more aware of the subconscious programs and beliefs that have been holding you back, and to teach you the tools, the techniques, and the processes to dramatically transform those programs and those beliefs and literally rewire your brain. Again, Launch, it's our 3-day event, and we run them 5 times a year. We also have Ascend, which is our 12-month high-performing mastermind for men who are committed to their growth and who want to totally recreate themselves. I literally want to send you a new birth certificate in 12 months' time because you've grown that much. So if you're a man and you want to go fast, you want to go big, and you understand that you don't want to put off living life at your potential, and you don't want to hold on to any unnecessary stress, anxiety, fear, worry, doubt, or suffering, and you want to be liberated from those habits of thinking and live life to the fullest. So check out the links in the description, take a look at the program information and the amazing success stories from the men just like you who have gone through some of their programs, and I'll see you on the other side. And now, let's get back to the video. So number 1, no one will care more about your life than you will. You've got to be the CEO of your own life. No one else will. You are the most important person to yourself. And when you can understand that, that means and it allows you to take full responsibility for your life, because no one will care really. Like, no one really cares. Like, if we think about it like this, and to put it in perspective, let's zoom out a little bit. You know, if you look at the world from space, we're down here. But if you look from all the way up here, all of our problems, our whole life seems quite insignificant, really, doesn't it? So, and I don't say that for you to go, well, what's the point of living? I'm saying that because it's like the things that are going on in your life, no one else really cares. The only person is you. And unfortunately, so many people walk around thinking that other people care too much or what other people are thinking. Here's the thing, it doesn't matter what you do, what you say, or how you act, people are always going to judge you. If you shrink yourself and try and fit in and try and think that other people's opinions of you is more important than your opinion of yourself, you're going to be judged for that. Even if you show up fully confident as the truth of who you are, people are going to judge you for that too. So why don't you just allow yourself to be free? Allow yourself to be free. Understand that you and your opinion of yourself is the most important opinion in the world. No one else's. And if you can understand that, you can then be the CEO of your own life and take full control of your life and dictate it to where you want it to be. Number 2, the world is yours. Everything in this world has been created by people just like you. Think about it. Everything in this world, like the camera, the lights, the building, everything that's here. Same in your life. If you have a look around, the thing that you're actually watching this on, it's all been created by people just like you. We learn through conditioning that we need to ask for permission all the time. And then that becomes a mindset that was like, oh, well, I need permission to do this. I need permission to live my life and pursue my purpose. But the world is yours. You know, it's like as in schooling, it's like, hey, miss, can I go to the toilet? You know, then we get a little bit older. Hey, mum, hey, dad, can I stay over a friend's house tonight? Gets on a little bit further and it's like, hey, government, can I buy a ticket or a card to drive on your road? Can I register my vehicle so I can drive that? You know, then we maybe even ask the council, being like, hey, can I cut down this tree that's on my property that they probably don't even know about? You know, hey boss, can I take 2 weeks off at Christmas so I can spend the time with my family? So we're always asking for permission. You need to break free from that and understand you don't need permission for anyone. You don't need permission. The only permission that you need is to give it to yourself. The world is yours to share. You can be anything. You've got to stay out of the victim mindset. Thinking that you need to ask for permission for all these things is the victim mindset. And if you're in a victim mindset, you're powerless. You can't do anything. You need to take responsibility. Responsibility is power. The more responsibility you have, the more ability you have to respond, to change the way you think and feel and act and show up in your results in your life. Now, if you're not taking responsibility, that means someone else has the power and the control over you and your life. So it's so important to take responsibility. So many people fear responsibility. They don't want to take responsibility. They don't want to take the ownership of it because they'd rather blame someone else. But if they're blaming someone else, then that other person that they're blaming, they've shifted the power onto that person, and that person will dictate your life. So the world is yours. Understand this. You're not here to follow a script written by others. You are here to write your own. And until you can understand that, until you can understand that your life is your life and you literally get to choose and it's yours, you will never achieve what you want. So understand that the world is yours. You don't need permission. You're here to write your own script and you can just keep moving. So when you've done that, that leads me on to number 3, which is feel the fear and do it anyway. This is the key point. So many people, they allow fear to stop them. Fear comes up and fear is not even real anyway. False evidence appearing real. It's not real. Show me fear. People say that it's a survival mechanism. No, we have an inbuilt system that will keep us out of harm that triggers like this. It's our fight or flight system. It's not based on fear. It's based on our own biological survival. So fear is natural. You just gotta stop letting it stop you. Because if you let it stop you, that's a choice. You have a choice to keep moving forward. The most successful people in life, they don't have no fear. It's not like they're any less fearful or any more courageous. It's that they just keep moving when they feel the fear. They have more courage to go through that fear when it comes up. So fear the fear and do it anyway, and then you will understand. Have you ever done something and gone, you know what, it wasn't as bad as what I thought? Have you ever been, it's like you're leading into it and maybe it's like fearful, maybe you had to do a talk or film a video or something, which is one of the biggest fears a lot of people have. You get up and you have to do a talk, and then afterwards you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. But before it was quite a fearful experience for you. That's the same thing that happens. You've just got to push through it, and then you'll understand that that fear was never real in the first place. And then the more that you can handle the fear and push through it, the more confidence you're going to build inside of yourself, and more self-trust and self-belief. But it comes from pushing through the fear and stepping into courage. It doesn't come from removing all of the fear and being fearless, because ultimately, if you are fearless, you'll probably be dead, right? Because then you'll probably just do stupid things. So it's not about not having fear. Have the fear, but have the courage to push through that fear. Number 4, tomorrow is a new day. No matter how hard things hit you this day or how hard you messed up today, just remember that when the sun rises tomorrow, you have a fresh start. Just keep moving forward. No setback is permanent. Failure is an opportunity to start again, but more intelligently this time. People are worried about failing that they don't even start. And if you think about it too, like people have a fear of failure, no wonder. At school, you don't want to fail your exam because you've got to get kept back a year. Like that's quite a big consequence for failing. So no wonder why you have this fear of failure that comes in. But when you actually get older and you start wanting to do more things in life, you understand that failure is just a feedback mechanism. And if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. I fail all the time. Man, every day I would say that I fail at something. Something doesn't go to plan. Something doesn't go the way I want to. Maybe something in the business didn't go the way that I wanted to. Maybe something in my personal life didn't go the way I wanted to. You know, if you put this in the context of gym, you don't sit there, you know, at weight training and then you're getting down and you can't get that last one, and then you put the thing back and you're like, oh man, I'm such a failure. You don't do that. You just go, yes, this is making me grow. I've got to get to that point of failure, and when I fail, I know that that's where the growth line is. That's the same thing in your life. So you've got to embrace that failure and understand it doesn't matter what happened today, it doesn't matter how bad you messed up today. Tomorrow is a new day. No setback is permanent. No setback. I don't care what's going on in your life. You can't convince me otherwise. It's not that I don't care, but I meant more, I don't care in terms of like whether you think that it's gonna last forever, that you will get through it. I can tell you that with certainty. Life will and universe will only show you and give you problems and challenges that you can handle. Unfortunately, a lot of men, especially at the moment, there's like, you know, still 6, 7, 8 suicides a day. A lot of men think they can't handle it. But we just got to keep going through every single day, one more day. There's been so many times in the business where I've gone, you know what, I'm done. When I first started, I would have quit maybe 1,000 times. Well, in my head. But no, I just kept saying one more day. I'm not going to quit today. I'm going to get through today. Just one more day. And then the sun would come up and I'll be like, yep, I'll keep going today. And I just kept going like that. And that got me to here. Number 5, how you do one thing is how you do everything. More importantly, pay attention to the small things that you do. They're a mirror reflecting how you tackle the big things. So many people, they let the small little things slide, but they're a mirror. In 75 Hard, if you know of it, awesome. If you don't, maybe Google it. But 75 Hard, you've got to do, I'm not going to get into it, but you do 5 tasks. One of them is quite insignificant, or seeming that way. It's taking a progress photo every single day. So you're taking a progress photo to track where you're at, and it's the one that most people fail because it seems so insignificant. But how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you can't just do the small, simple little things in life and you forget to do that and you overlook that, that then is a mirror reflecting of how you do the big things. And so if you cut corners when no one is watching, that mindset bleeds into the major areas of your life. Cutting corners is the worst thing. How you act in private is the standard that you are setting for yourself and the standard that others will treat you with. I always say, imagine if I said to you, we've been filming you for the last 30 days. Hey, it's Brendan. Quick interruption to your regularly scheduled video. I want to let you know of an opportunity that you have to go even deeper into this work together. Now, if you have not yet, please check out the description down below. And in there, we've got links to both Launch, our 3-day event, and also Ascend, our high performance mastermind. Now, Launch, it's our 3-day event, and it's the most ruthlessly effective event to change your brain, for you to become more aware of the subconscious programs and beliefs that have been holding you back, and to teach you the tools, the techniques, and the processes to dramatically transform those programs and those beliefs and literally rewire your brain. Again, Launch, it's our 3-day event, and we run them 5 times a year. We also have Ascend, which is our 12-month high-performing mastermind for men who are committed to their growth and who want to totally recreate themselves. I literally want to send you a new birth certificate in 12 months' time because you've grown that much. So if you're a man and you want to go fast, you want to go big, and you understand that you don't want to put off living life at your potential, and you don't want to hold on to any unnecessary stress, anxiety, fear, worry, doubt, or suffering, and you want to be liberated from those habits of thinking and live life to the fullest. So check out the links in the description, take a look at the program information and the amazing success stories from the men just like you who have gone through some of their programs, and I'll see you on the other side. And now, let's get back to the video. I've had a camera following you the whole time. It's been invisible, you couldn't see it, but it's been there for you the last 30 days. Let me ask you this. Would there be bits, and if I was gonna say I'm gonna share it with your family or with your colleagues or friends, would there be bits in there where you're like, oh, no, I've got to take them out? Why? Why would you act different? So how you do those little things in life is how you do everything. I can tell you now that if you clean up that area of your life, whatever those things are, you will see massive difference in your life, and your standards, your personal standards will raise. So you've got to raise those standards. You've got to build a pattern of higher standards. You know, show up on time. Respect your own promises to yourself. Don't let yourself down. So many people, they say, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and they let themselves down. No wonder why they don't like themselves, because they're always letting themselves down. So if you say that you're going to do something, do it. Follow through with it. And naturally, your self-belief, your self-confidence, looking back at yourself in the mirror, you're going to like yourself because you're actually doing the things that you say that you're going to be doing. Number 6, always be growing. Stagnation is the death of ambition. Let me say that again. Stagnation is the death of ambition. There's always room for improvement. There's always room to grow. If I said to you, have you done your best? Like yesterday, did you give it your best? If you said yes, you're lying to yourself. You can always do better. Now, in the moment, I understand that at the time you might be thinking that you can do that, you're doing your best, which probably, yes. But when you look back, you go, you know what, I could have done better, because you have a new awareness. So there's always more growth. See yourself as a work in progress. Be like, I'm constantly in a work of progress, because if you're done, you're done. There's always 2 states, yin yang, hot, cold, up, down. You can't have one without the other. And you can't be in a state of growth and dying at the same time. You can't be in a state of going up and down at the same time. You can only be in one. So if you're not growing, what are you doing? You're dying, you're going backwards. So you've got to commit to a lifelong journey of growth. And I can tell you now, it's so addictive when you actually start seeing really good results in your life. I can tell you that. You'll go, what's next? What's next? What's next? And it'll be so exciting, and you'll see the results, and you just want to keep going. And life is fun. Life is enjoyable because you're growing and you're improving and you're seeing these things. When you do the work works. Number 7, having the abundance mindset. A scarcity mindset breeds jealousy, it breeds fear, and it breeds stinginess. So many people, if they get envious or jealous in others, it means that they have a lack-based mindset, a scarcity mindset. There's so much opportunity in this world. There is more money walking around or flowing around in circulation than ever before. Think about that. There is literally more money in this universe, in this world, that you can earn right now, at this point in time. It's never been easier. We need to have this understanding, have this mindset. Let's pull it out a little bit. You know, like, If you were able to do something for someone else, they would then value that and they will reward you with that. You've just got to think bigger. You've just got to have that abundant mindset. If you have an abundant mindset, you see it everywhere, right? Start catching yourself. If you start saying, I can't afford this, or I never am going to be able to have that, or I could never have that, replace those thoughts with what can I do to create more value to afford this? If you ask yourself quality questions, you'll find the answer. If you want to ask yourself a question of, I can't afford this, or why can't I afford this, you're going to find the reason. But if you want to ask yourself a better question of what can I do to create more value so I can afford this, you're going to find those answers too. The questions that you ask yourself are the answers that you're going to find. So ask yourself a better question. It's so simple when you put it this way. It's so easy. If you ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Why does this never happen to me? Why can't I get ahead? What are the answers are you going to get? The answers to those questions. But if you flip it to the other side and be like, what could I do to help me get ahead more? What are some things that I can do to provide more value? What am I doing right? You're going to find those answers too. It's literally so simple. So instead of envy, get inspired. If you see someone and they've got something that you want, don't allow it to make you feel bad. Go, I want that too. Use it as inspiration to pull you forward rather than you feeling envious and essentially you're pulling that person down in your mind to that level and pushing yourself down further. Now, opportunities, they multiply when you think more abundantly in your life. Number 8, failure is feedback, not a finale. I touched on failure just before, but failure is valuable data that is teaching you something. If you see it like this as failure, it's like data that's teaching you something. Don't get your emotions caught up in it. Just be like, right, this is the facts, this is the data. The only true failure in life is quitting. As soon as you quit, you're a failure. That's only the true failure, because otherwise you're not trying hard enough. Fail proudly. You know, if you fail at something, go, yes, I'm one step closer. And fail often. Ask yourself every day when you wake up, what can I do today to fail? What can I be pushing hard at so then I fail at this? Because each failure that you have, you learn how not to do something, it teaches you something, and you'll be so much more likely to succeed quicker if you push yourself to failure. Keep pushing further and further and further. Going back to my gym example, if you train to failure every single time that you train, you're going to have massive growth in your physical body because you're pushing yourself to those outer limits. So that failure that's there, that's the sign of growth. If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. So as I said just before, fail proudly and fail often and celebrate it. Go, yes, I failed. There's lessons in here, means I get so much growth that's coming for me. Number 9, value your time like gold. Time is more precious than money. You can always earn another dollar, but you can never relive yesterday. You've got to guard your calendar. Even if you don't use your calendar, in a way, maybe you probably should start using that. But guard your time. You know, people want to maybe suck up your time too much, or I used to say all the time, I'm just passing time. And now I think about that, I'm like, that's the worst thing I could have said ever. You know, I'm just passing time. Does that mean that I don't have anything interesting to do with my time? Like, always, always, always make sure that you guard your calendar. Learn to say no politely, but also firm. You know, someone says that you want to help me do this or whatever, just go, no, I'm not going to. Just say no. There's nothing wrong with saying no. Your life, at the end of your life, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, I did everything for everyone else and I didn't do anything for me. That's not a way to live life. So prioritize tasks that drive the biggest impact for you. You know, the tasks that are going to make the biggest difference in your life. It could be spending time with family. It could be working out. It could be working on a side hustle or a business or your career and upskilling. It could be taking your wife out on date night. It could be any of those things, but whatever's going to make the biggest impact for you. Free up time for what really matters in your life. Your time is your life, so master it wisely. Number 10, master your inner dialogue. This one is so important. The voice inside of your head is the single most influential voice in your life. No one can influence you more than your voice inside of your head. Because if someone does influence you, what you've done is you've agreed with them in that voice inside of your head. So pay attention what you say to yourself. Be your best friend. Be good to yourself. So many people, they're running themselves down all the time. And the standard that you set for yourself is the same standard that you set others and you teach others to treat you by. So if you are running yourself down inside of your own mind, that's the standard that you're going to allow others to do the same thing. So feed beliefs that serve you. Feed your mind with the beliefs that empower you, that are going to push you forward, rather than those ones that are limiting you. The goal is to make your internal self-talk a source of strength. It's like your superpower. It's like you can rely on that. So you've got to train that inner voice to propel you forward rather than hold you back like an anchor. Number 11, life owes you nothing. So take initiative. Time for a reality check. Life doesn't owe you a damn thing. Entitlement is the enemy of achievement. Let me say that once more. Entitlement is the enemy of achievement. See yourself as the hero of your own story, not just an active participant of your life. You are the hero of your own story. You're not just playing a character in it. If you want a promotion or a pay rise, don't expect it happening just because you're doing your job. Go that extra mile. You've got to show the extra value, and then the pay rise will come afterwards. You don't just get a pay rise because you've been there for X amount of time. Like, that's entitlement, and that's the enemy of achievement. Dropping entitlement allows for embracing gratitude for what you have in your life and what you already earn. What you appreciate appreciates. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. So if you want to receive more, be in a state of appreciation and be grateful for what you got. Why would God, universe, source, great spirit, whatever your belief is, why would they give you any more if you're not grateful for what you have in your life already? You know, if you had a friend and you kept giving them things and they were like, give that here, give that here, you'd get to a point where you're like, I'm not going to give that person anything else. Well, the universe is a God, source, spirit, whatever your belief, is doing the same thing to you. But you just keep going, give me that here. You don't say thank you. Until you start appreciating what you've got in your life, nothing will change. Life owes you nothing. If you change this mindset and understand that it's all up to you and be grateful and embrace the gratitude, let go of ego and entitlement, this mindset shift that you make will put you in the driver's seat. No excuses, no pity parties, no poor me, just you steering your own life to wherever you choose to take your life. Number 12, focused on what you can control. Control the controllables. What you can change is your perspective. Number 12, focus on what you can control. What you can change is your perspective. Control the controllables. If you can't control some situation, you don't think you can, what you can control is how you think and feel about the situation, and then the situation will be different. So many times we're running this story inside of our mind, and the story is the thing that's messing us up, not the actual situation. For example, we might have a story of like, you know, such and such did this, and that means that, you know, they don't like me. That's just a story. And so that story that you're telling yourself, you can't control what that person did, but you can control your perspective on it, and you can control the story that you're telling yourself. We've got to flip the switch and understand that story that you're telling yourself is based on opinion, not fact. So what can you do about this right now? Ask yourself that question. And if you do ask yourself this question about a current situation, and if the answer is honestly nothing, if you go, I honestly can't do anything, then direct your focus elsewhere. Einstein said you can't solve the problem at the same level of thinking that it was created. So if you're at this level here, you're at that level of problem. And if you're telling yourself this same story, you're not going to be able to shift it. You need to sell yourself a different story to then have a different mindset, to then be at a different level and a different level of thinking, to then be able to solve that problem. That's as simple as it comes. It's so simple, but it will make a massive difference. So focus on what you can control and focus on what you want to happen, not on what you don't want to happen. Number 13, Kaizen mentality. Kaizen is a Japanese philosophy for continuous improvement. Continuing improving every single day. Just focus on getting 1% better every single day. 1% better over the course of 12 months, 365 days, it adds up to be about 37% better by just getting better 1% every day. And what's 1% of your day? 20 minutes. So if you commit to doing 20 minutes of personal growth, getting better in some way, shape or form every single day for just 20 minutes, you're going to be over 1/3 better in 12 months time. So simple, right? But we don't see it like that, and we don't think it makes that big of a difference, but it does. So ask yourself every single day, what small step can I take today that's going to take me to where I want to go? And focus on just those small little improvements. The stock market, if someone goes and just makes a small 1% improvement every single day, they're going to outperform someone who goes a big 20% and then maybe down to maybe a loss and then another. Like the erratic nature of that, if someone's just consistent 1% every single day, they're going to outweigh that other one, and it's going to be so much more easier for you mentally and emotionally, right? So just focus on getting 1% better 20 minutes of your day every single day, and in 12 months time you will look back and you will not know who you are. Number 14, deserve it to earn it. Not your inherent worth as a human we're talking about here. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about it's the value you bring to the table. To get what you want in life, you have to deserve what you want. You know, you can't just expect to go, you know what, I deserve to be a multi-millionaire and I'm not going to do a thing. That's not how this game works. You've got to become so good that they can't ignore you. That's in the workplace, also in relationships. If you're in a relationship, or maybe the relationship's on the rocks, or you want to attract a partner into your life, focus on being so good that that person can't ignore you. You want to use the law of attraction to attract them into your life. It's the same in a workplace. Be so good at what you do that others can't ignore you. So focus on being so good, deserve and earn what you want by providing that value to the world, to the marketplace, what you bring to the table. Number 15, play the long game. Instant gratification versus the long game. You can't have both. Say no to temptations. Say no to those things that have been holding you back right now. I am a master at delaying instant gratification because I know that if I say yes to something today, I'm saying no to my future self. I'm saying no to my future if I say yes to something right now. You know, there might be a big plate of donuts, for example. And if I go, yep, I'm gonna go to town on these donuts, what am I really saying no to? You can't say yes without saying no to something, and you can't say no without saying yes to something. So you get to choose. So play the long game. There's this concept called compound pounding. So think about there's a piñata and there's like 7 kids, right? And let's just say they're 7 years old. I don't know where the 7 come from, but let's run with it. So there's these, young boys and some girls too. They've got the piñata and they whack them as hard as they can. And so there's one boy, he gets up and he whacks it 10 times as hard as he can. Then there's another one that gets up and then they keep going, and 5 of them have all had 10 shots as hard as they can. And then there's this little girl that gets up and she just goes whack, and in one hit it goes and explodes, and there's candy and lollies and whatever else they put in there everywhere. Now, it's not that one girl's hit. It was all of the other hits that were along the way that weakened it, and when she hit it, it went everywhere. Now, it looks like it was her, but it was through all of the repetitions previous, right? So if you think about it like that, sometimes we're making progress and we're just compound pounding and we don't see the progress, but we just got to trust that we're making it. And if you're connected with the long game, and if you know that you're going to get there and you've got that long game happening, then you will be much more likely to go, you know what, it's working. I'm compound pounding. Whereas if you're always chasing instant gratification, you won't truly get where you want to go in life, because you'll always be chasing that butterfly or that next shiny red object. You'll never truly get to where you want to be in life. Number 16, the 80-20 rule. Ask yourself, out of all the things that you do on a day-to-day basis, what is the actual things that drive the needle the most? Which 2 out of 10 tasks bring you the most revenue in your business? What about the 2 out of 10 tasks that have the biggest effect on your health? Or the 2 out of 10 tasks or things that deepen your most important relationships the most? Double down on those things. I always ask myself, what's those 2% of things? 20% of what you do will give you 80% of your results. That's the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. That means 80% of the things that you do give you 20% of the results. It's so outweighted. So the more that you can do those 20% tasks that give you the 80% of the results and keep analyzing them, you'll find that you'll start getting results so much quicker. So simplify your life and choose to do the things that make the biggest impact rather than just doing all the small, minute things and doing lots of those things. You'll find that in every area of life, there's 20% of tasks that you do that is giving you 80% of your results. And when you find them, double down on those exact things. Number 17, always be an apprentice. The moment you stop learning is the moment you fall behind. I always in my life, I'm like, I want to be an apprentice. I am a carpenter by trade. And when I first started doing my apprenticeship, I was like, I want to be out of this apprenticeship as soon as possible. And I was going to TAFE quicker, and I was making sure that, I was doing everything. I ended up getting signed off, 9 months early. So it was just over 3 years because I didn't want to be an apprentice anymore. But now in life, I'm like, I am the apprentice, and I'm always going to be the apprentice. I'm always learning. The moment you stop learning is the moment that you fall behind. One of the worst things you can say is, I know this. Because as soon as you say, I know this, this implies that there's nothing else to know. So there's always something new to learn. What you realize is the more that you learn, the more you realize you don't know. Doubt grows with knowledge. Sometimes we keep learning and growing and learning so much stuff that when we get to this point, we realize all of these other things that maybe we thought were true are not true, and now we kind of doubt everything. I've been through many times of that where I've been on this path of growth and I'm learning so much, but then I get to a point where I'm like, what is even true? I'm doubting my ability because I've been awakened to all these other different bits and pieces. So always be an apprentice, but also come down to what's the purpose. Be curious about everything. Be curious, question everything. I always say, if you're doing something, question, like, why do you do that? If you're going to the gym, why do you do that? And let's go a little bit deeper rather than just going to say, oh, because, I feel good or I want to look good. Let's go a little bit deeper, like why? Why do you want that? If you can find out the deeper reason for all of these things that you do them, you're going to find so much more peace and understanding of yourself and awareness of why you do the things that you do. And that in itself is a way to be an apprentice of you knowing yourself. Number 18, surround yourself with success. Take a good look at the people that you are hanging around with. Jim Rohn said you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with most. And it is true. If you keep hanging around drop kicks, you're going to become a drop kick. If you hang around people who are super successful and who are like making millions of dollars and have got big businesses, and you hang around them, eventually, it might take a little bit of time, but eventually that will rub off on you and you will join them. It's just who you surround yourself with. Now, I'm not saying that you've got to cut people out of your life, but just be mindful of who you're spending time with. And if you have to limit some of your time with these people, do that. Number 19, done is better than perfect. Perfectionism seems like it's a high standard, but in reality, it's often procrastination in a fancy suit. So prioritize action and iteration over endless refinement. There's time for refinement after that. Just say yes today, figure it out along the way. Imperfect action. It doesn't mean you deliver garbage or put out things that are careless and you just go, you know what, let's do it, I don't really care. It's not about that. It means you value more momentum. It's more about going, you know what, this is good enough, let's get this rolling. Rather than going, oh, that's not quite right, I've got to do this, and then you just end up doing nothing. By acting and doing things, you learn lessons so much quicker. And you can't improve something that doesn't exist. So you can't improve something if you haven't even launched it or done it or set it into motion yet. That's where the refinement comes afterwards, but you've just got to put it out there first and just do things. And that's in any area of life too. Like, you don't wait until you're the perfect parent before you have a kid. You don't wait until you're the perfect driver before you jump in a car to start learning to drive. No, you understand that you've just got to get it done, and it's not going to be perfect. And if you don't take action, if you don't keep moving forward with it, you're gonna end up procrastinating and you're not gonna move through and you're not gonna follow through with it because you're too busy trying to get things right and perfect before you even start. Number 20, one of my favorites, discipline over motivation. If you rely on motivation, you will be inconsistent at best, doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. That's what discipline is. Going, you know what? I gotta get up. I get up at 4 a.m. and every single morning and I do some cold exposure, and it's probably the last thing I wanna do. But I do it because it's hard, and I do it because I don't feel like it, and I do it because I know it's making me better. The magic is when you take disciplined action, it often ignites and drives more motivation as a byproduct. So if you take action through discipline, you actually become more motivated. It's funny how that works. That's where the magic lies, in discipline. Have you ever dragged yourself to the gym and felt unmotivated, but then you're on there for like 10 minutes and after that you feel pumped? You're like, wow, that's the same thing. You then become motivated, you then become driven because you've just had that discipline to get going. Action leads, emotion follows. Consistency beats short bursts of intensity all the time. Number 21, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Growth and comfort rarely coexist. Your comfort zones, by definition, are limiting. Just that line where your comfort zone is, that's where all the growth lies. The more you can be in this zone of uncomfortable, the more growth you're gonna have. Now, you don't have to live in that state of being uncomfortable, but just keep touching it every single day, multiple times a day. Keep hitting that comfort zone and expanding it. That's where all of the growth is gonna be. Otherwise, you're gonna be in the zone of familiarity and you're never gonna do anything and achieve anything because the achievements that you want aren't familiar, they aren't known, they're not in your comfort zone. If you want a small life, a life where you don't really do anything with it, then sure, chase comfort. There's plenty of the comfort in this world. You know, it's so easy to be overweight. It's so easy to not achieve anything, to just have a job and pay the bills. It's so easy. If that's what you want, awesome. But I dare say if you're still here watching this, you want 10 times more from life and you want to be the best version of yourself. If that's the case, you've got to be okay with being uncomfortable. And number 22, absolute responsibility. Responsibility is power. Own everything in your life. It's easy to take credit for the wins in life and be like, yeah, I did this, this was good, and feel good about it. But then blame external circumstances or factors for the losses. It happens all the time. People, if they do something well, they take that compliment. But if they don't do something as good, they then like to push the blame on others and say, oh, if this didn't happen, or if this happened, this happened. That's where true responsibility lies. So many people are good at taking ownership for the good things, but the things that didn't go so well, that's when you've got to take more responsibility and go, you know what, I own this. This is me, because when I take responsibility, I have the ability to respond. So you don't need to master all 22 today, but even if just one of these things hits you, act on it. I'm sure one of them would have. Pick the ones that resonate with you most and don't just like listen to them, live them. What's written is retained. If you need to go back and write all these things down again, do that. You know, you might have to watch this 2, 3, 4 times before you actually really get it. Nothing changes until you do. Nothing changes until you do. Repetition creates your identity. Practice builds the belief inside of yourself, and the man that you want to become is on the other side of applying these mindsets every single day. So print them out, write them down, pin them up, live them, look at them every single day, because once your mind expands, you can never shrink back. You made it to the end of the video. You are the true top 1%. Now, don't forget to like and comment below what your biggest takeaway was. I love hearing that. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like, the biggest insight, realization. I read them all and I like seeing what you got from this. Now, if you'd also like to grab my copy of my free ebook, 4 Rules Any Man Can Follow to Radically Transform His Life, click on the link down below in the description in this video. And if you love this video, you can check out some of the other videos on here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.